The Comedy Store would like you to know that the views and opinions expressed on this podcast are strictly those of the speakers or authors and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by the Comedy Store and its affiliates.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
New room. You saw him? I tried to get him to do... Me either. He's going to do tomorrow. Yep. All day. I'm very tired.
Through the OR.
You know Fury?
I know.
Yeah, what up, dog?
Good, good, good. We're closing
nice
out the
room.
main room. You like this?
It's not as hot as the other room.
Did
Yeah,
you
that
get-
room was always fucking hot.
It's fucking sauna.
Dude, this one might even be hotter because we're closer to the bodies.
Yeah, I think
Whose
We definitely...
bodies?
There could be a foot come out of that
Mitzi?
wall.
it's definitely
Not
insulated
Mitzi's.
with
They-
asbestos.
Oh,
I feel
100%.
a little tinge of mesothelioma coming in.
When they paint it, it smells like paint.
It's just how it looked. That's just...
I don't know if I like being in the same room as the guy running it, to be honest.
What do you mean?
I need some glass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Put
yeah,
something
we-
between us. It's getting too personal.
We don't want...
I need a partition.
We don't need to hear him.
Yeah. It's
Hear
like seeing
him.
your priest when
Yeah.
you do like a confessions.
Yeah, that's
Be
good.
far away.
Jeff knows about that.
Yeah, I'm Jewish. But
Whatever you do, wear a
I
little
was
hat, grow out hair.
molested. I went to a priest just to infiltrate.
Oh,
Just
good.
to see what they're doing in there. You want to know what's going on in that box.
Yeah, dude, you need an agent.
Yeah.
Jews, you want to get molested? Come over to the Catholics.
with us,
we'll show
guys.
you. We'll show
We
you the
make
right
you
thing.
feel good.
You have a beer on deck?
Yeah, I didn't want to go all the way up there.
You're not fucking
Man,
around.
that's a lot of steps. What is
Tuesday
it,
night.
eight
Yeah,
steps?
but it's my night. I don't. My night is just another night. I don't know. So it just doesn't really.
This
What
is
do you
your
mean?
weekend.
Yeah, it's just like there's no like.
He has
I
no
don't have to wake
structure
up
to his
tomorrow.
week.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, you and I, we don't have any responsibilities. That's your
No.
fault.
Yeah.
You have
Couple
kids.
kids.
And
Big-
Oh, shit.
Big
Yeah.
mistake.
I don't get involved.
No, I got no chance on that.
I
These
have
are
no
my kids.
responsibility
Right here.
whatsoever. These are your kids. Look how nice I treat
Yeah,
them.
they're
You
very
pile them, you
good.
pet
Very
them.
proud of them. He's a little older.
Definitely cost less.
Yeah.
Look how they've grown. Anyway, thank you, Jeff.
we on
Danis.
air?
Yes, we are.
Oh, my God.
He's
Hell of
already
a start.
Hell of a
Jesus.
start. Kamikaze start. You know how we do. But Rick is on the road, so we have a guest host.
Ricky's best friends with Chris Rock now.
Yeah,
I
good.
saw their necklaces
None of
online.
the pictures look like they're ever in the same room. Anyone else knows that?
Well, they
Rick's
superimposed.
always downstairs, and then Chris Rock's with like everybody famous.
He's Rick's just
Yeah,
waiting.
Rick's been driving a lot of cars too. I don't know if they just give him giving him stage time.
They green screen him into a lot of it.
Hilarious.
And he does a lot of his sets are via Zoom. It's a new way to do the road.
Everybody's my opener. Here you go. Take yourself another Canadian.
When is he ever coming back?
He is. He is.
He will
In
be
and out.
back.
I think they're in LA this week doing
Oh.
shows. So, but Jeff is guest hosting,
Yeah.
and we have Stephen Fury here to be our guest. Be our guest.
Happy
be
with the
our
B Squad,
guest.
Jeff. Appreciate it, buddy. You guys brought in the big guns for
Hey
me.
man,
Appreciate
that's
it.
how we do. That's
They said Rick couldn't handle you, so they brought,
yeah.
they
a
brought
lot
me
to
in.
handle.
Yeah.
He said.
Oof, yeah.
He said, I don't know if I can deal with.
Where
it.
are they going?
We had
What are they
you on
playing?
before though?
I think it's my third time.
See, I knew he'd done it before.
You're like, I think you look familiar.
Yeah, I
He's like,
think
yeah,
I've
I've done
seen
it 5 times.
I've seen you here.
Juan Carlos? Yes,
was
I am
your-
Juan Carlos.
I was your co-host for 6 weeks.
He's like, I'm Rick. You forget what Rick looks
This is
like.
Rick.
This is
It's how
Rick
he
after
comes in.
touring.
This is
little
what he
plump.
looks like.
You don't you go on the road with Bert a little bit?
Bert.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
How's it going?
It was more fun.
What does that
Change
mean?
the leaf.
What happened?
He's very mean. He hits me. No, he just
I
Sober
love it.
October?
sober
It's gone
October,
into
now
November?
life. Yeah.
Oh, he's
so-
sober.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like, it used to be. I started with him on the Hot Summer Nights tour, the drive-in movie theaters.
Oh, yeah.
And that
Okay.
was like a shit show. I gained on average. It's not even a joke. 6 pounds a week. So one time I was gone.
Is that food and booze?
Food and alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like the alcohol was all. He's actually doesn't drink that. I mean, he drinks a lot, but it's later in the night. Like he starts in the second
Right.
halfway through the second show. But I started later, so like it would be like close to a bottle of Casamigos a night, like 5 meals. And so I like one time I left on the second leg of the tour that he gave me. I gained 30 pounds in 6 weeks.
Holy
Had to buy new pants mid-tour.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's the new pants tour.
Yeah. So
Traveling
Did he
pants.
give them to you? He's like, you've earned these.
yeah, he's
Congrats.
like, these are mine.
Does he
He's
have
giving
a-
his pants.
These are my old ones. I have to get some new ones as well.
No shirts though. I won't give you.
Does he have a pair that you guys all fit in, like the traveling pants? That's,
He has.
Were you alarmed, or were you just like, whatever? I'll lose it when I can.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was just pure gluttony at that time too, because it was mid of the pandemic. So like you got out.
You're like, the world could end. I gotta
Yeah, well,
eat. I
yeah.
gotta drink. I gotta prepare.
You couldn't
Eat my
talk to
way out of
nobody. So then we, but now I just did a last run with him, and he's got a trainer. We train for 2 hours a day. There's no drinking.
Man.
So he's with
And it's fucking training.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like it's like I'm on the ground after like an hour and a half, like that. Like I'm
Because
dead.
isn't he like oddly
Yeah, he's
athletic?
strong, yeah.
Or-
He is. You don't be fooled by the gut. He's
It's
a guy
just
like
gut.
he can go run a
Yeah.
marathon and
Yeah,
then
he
drink
did.
like 30 beers. Yeah, he did it. Like and hit like it's a bizarre. He's a bizarre guy.
no-train
Very hard
marathon.
to pin down to figure out.
Yeah, it works. He's been working out well for him. But this one was a little. It's still fun, but it's just
of
not.
course.
It's kind of like the Comedy Store back in the day, as
Yeah.
opposed to now.
Now.
Like it's
Now
different.
you're hitting
It's a
the
different
corporate.
scene.
You're
Yeah.
hitting what we're hitting.
Yeah,
Like we're looking
exactly.
at you guys.
It's more
like,
of a
what the fuck is
business.
happening?
Yeah.
They want longevity. Bert wants to live. What an
yeah.
idiot.
Yeah, we were not trying to live
That
last
is
tour. That's for
bullshit.
sure.
The Suicide Tour.
So from the Sober October is what made him decide, because he's done Sober October a million times, haven't they?
Yeah, he got pretty fat before that. Like it was like we sleep in this big bus, and I sleep right next to him across the thing. And he had like a time where he was like, all night he would throw up in his mouth.
That's
all night.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Is he sleep apnea or is he?
It was like sleep apnea, just like being. It's like you get all these things. I feel like a lot of problems people get also just relate to you being fat. So like he was
Okay.
just too fat, so he's like his stomach's not
So it's
working.
like
He's drinking
GERD?
too much. He's throwing up in the middle of the sleep. Like it was like all night long. It's really
Yeah.
gross.
Jesus.
Like bile? Like what do
Yeah,
you mean?
like bile and just anything.
Man.
what is that
just
called?
heartburn, just really bad.
Acid reflux.
Yeah, acid reflux and
really
heartburn.
bad.
It was
yeah.
tater tots and poutine, just whatever was in his system.
Bro, it's
a piece of cheese hanging up.
it's not even that. It's like,
Shot
seafood,
glass,
it's like
so-
seafood towers. Like he's like if you look at like
Seafood tower.
Oh, he's
a
got
pyramid of gout.
He's gotten classy fat.
Yeah, he's classy fat. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
gout. Like my
That's-
hands are
That's
sore.
why they call it the King's disease,
Yeah,
because those
exactly.
guys eat too well. He's probably
Dude,
eating like
gout's no
just
joke.
charcuterie boards
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
himself. Big J had gout, I think, for a while.
My
That's why he wears
ex had-
gloves.
My ex had gout.
Is it? He needs the circulation.
Hilarious.
That's why Dice wears gloves. I started the gout.
My feet are disintegrating. I don't know
I
what
can't
that
feel
means.
my toes. Pass me I need some salami, though. Your ex had gout?
Or,
Was he heavy?
yeah, no, Ronnie.
Ronnie.
He had a belly.
Shout out to
but
Ronnie.
He was, I don't know.
He got gout
walked
in
a
prison,
lot.
though. Someone stabbed him with it.
Gout was a cellmate. He was very handsy.
My friend
fella.
Gout.
He'll get you right
Ah,
hurts.
my back.
Oh,
and
my gout. Killing me.
I can feel the gout coming.
Did you ever meet him?
Who?
My ex?
No. I've
Jeff
been here 6
Richards.
years.
Oh, okay.
Do you know Chappelle's limo driver?
Yeah.
He looks a lot like
You're
that
an
guy.
asshole.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm like, hey,
kinda the old
Ronnie.
guy.
Oh, that's Chappelle's driver. Sorry.
This is a Ronnie look. It's like assistant coach,
But
an
Jeff
NBA
Richards
player.
used to do an impression of him.
Oh,
and
yeah?
then, like, when we split up, Richards was like,
He ran with
is
it.
he allowed to come here still? I need material. I'm like,
Richards
He's like, those
lived,
are only 3
don't worry
characters I
about
do.
me, dude. That's fine. but-
Richards lived as him for like 5 years. They
He
dated.
did.
He's like, how about dating me?
Now I'm going to throw up in my mouth.
He could have gout as well.
Oh,
He
definitely.
looked gouty. Goutish.
He's gouty.
He's past gout, I
Yeah,
think.
that's right.
When are you?
But it's painful, the fucking gout.
Yeah,
Is what
yeah,
I'm
it seems
saying.
like
It's
it.
How
really
do you know?
bad.
He-
I'm
And then no one
serious.
feels
Ronnie
bad for
really
you.
had it. Yeah.
No one feels bad for you when you have
Because
gout.
he eats
No.
like that. He eats
Yeah.
like all the rich foods like that. It's crazy.
It's like a food hangover, you know?
permanent.
Yeah, permanent.
Right in your feet.
Right in your feet, yeah. Instead of your
Somebody
head.
I know said that Bert was turning into Smokey the Bear. Do you think that's true?
That's very funny. He does look like
Where does he
Smokey
buy those hats? Does he go to a Hasidic Jew shop? Like, where is
Dude,
his?
he's got him. He's got hat people all over the country.
Does he travel with a lot of hats?
He's about 3. Yeah, they're like
Like, if you
mole
ever
hair.
fly with
They're mole hair
Hasidic
hats.
Jews, they have like a bowling ball case with their hats. Does he have those?
I had to sit next to that
You
guy.
had to sit with the hat?
Oh my god!
You're like, what do you get? You playing cymbals?
Yeah,
He's like, no, it's a hat.
insane. I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
He destroyed Nashville. Let's just say
Hat-wise?
that. Like he went into Nashville. That town's never been the same.
He's like, I'll take a 10-gallon, a 7-gallon,
Flat brim,
8 gallons
brim.
of chili. I'm going to go chain.
I've learned everything from that. Yeah, his hat
Has he
game
tried
is
to get
crazy.
you into the hat game?
So the cool thing is I get a lot of not fillover, but spillover hats.
Okay.
Because people don't believe his head is actually 8, like a size 8. So they go
Holy
7.5. Right in my wheelhouse, I've got like half the minor league soccer teams and baseball teams in this country's hats.
Jesus, you're like, I need a new apartment for my hat.
Yeah, I've got I get a lot of runoff. I feel like I'm one of those like small fish on a shark wherever Bert goes.
Is that the stadiums you guys are playing? The minor league ball clubs?
He did that. Now he's in fucking arenas. I just did the Pacers with him.
I was like, wait, it looks a little bigger than that. Cause
That shit was fucking wild. Yeah, we did the Pacers, the Penguins.
Do any of the
Awesome.
players come out? Is that a stupid question?
No, it's not a stupid question at all. The football ones they did. We hung out with Aaron Rodgers.
Really?
He hung out with Aaron Rodgers.
I
I was
would
like
freak out.
Tony, kind of like how Tony's on the podcast.
Yeah, you're just sitting at a
Right.
desk.
I was Tony, and I
Kind
mean,
of
like,
how Rick opens the show.
Fury, sit like 10 feet away at a desk. And just look at us talk for a while.
we were all friends.
And you're like sitting up staring at a computer. You're like,
I would freak out. Aaron Rodgers is one of my favorites of all
Plus,
time.
you know, like when you think of a sports fan,
Yeah.
is what Bert is.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So like anytime there's a sports thing, people just it's just so much. It's honest to God. People always ask me like, it's the coolest thing you could ever want. Everything you would ever want.
was Aaron Rodgers a cool guy, or was
He really talked about the football team too, and really talked about
Really?
everything. Like last year when he was trying to get traded,
oh, yeah.
he was talking shit. He was like, "Yeah, this guy." He's like, "We do a commercial plane," and he says all the coaches get first class, and all the players got to sit and coach. And he's like, "There's a fucking coach who never. There's a coach up there who's 5'10", $150, and I'm sitting next to a guy who's 6'5", 310 pounds. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And he complained the whole thing. And I even went on Bovada or one app and tried to bet that he wouldn't be there. But
I wonder if they balance that plane. If they're like half the line left, half the line right. Like, what if the whole line goes left? And they're like, the plane's like, hey, I'm having
fucked
trouble
up.
turning up here, man.
it looks like the airplane movie plane. It's just like in a fucking.
Did you guys do ayahuasca with him? Or was Bird already sworn off the substances?
No, he's not a party guy like that.
Yeah, but he did. He said that.
he
He
did
said that. It was the credits that with his MVP last year.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I thought you meant Bert. I'm
Oh,
like,
no, not Bird.
I'm like, I do drugs. Birds don't do that kind of stuff.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, he didn't say anything about it. He just kept talking about wanting to get on Rogan. I was like,
You're like, you already did
You know
it.
how funny that is?
He's like, hook me up, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
was
dude, you reach out to him.
You're fucking Aaron Rodgers. I don't know.
It's not like
Nike.
me.
know who you
It's not
are,
like me
right?
talking to
Tell
Bert. Like,
State Farm to hit him up. I don't know what you want, dog.
and it's like, what do you need it for? Like, what do you need? More promotion?
He just said, you're like, I think we'd be friends. I was like, come on, man. You can't be this lame.
I think we'd be friends. I think
we'd
we.
be cooler than this.
I think we
Say
hit it
that.
off.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, this breaks my heart.
I had a buddy who.
I have a
cool, though.
whole
He was a nice guy.
image.
A buddy of mine golfed with Bill Belichick. I won't reveal too much information.
Okay, that's disgusting.
He's in the
I
same,
wouldn't do that.
he was in the same foursome as him, and I'm from Massachusetts, as is I grew up with my buddy. And I was like, is he a cool guy? And he's like, if he wasn't Bill Belichick, like you wouldn't say he was a cool guy. He said all he talks about 100% is football. And like anything outside of that, like he just shuts down.
Bullshit the tuck rule is.
And
like,
he's
things
just like he
that.
is.
Does
He's
he
like
bring
he's
that up?
monotone. Like, and he said this guy went up to him and he's like, "Hey man, like we're from such and such in Massachusetts. We flew out here. It was in Pebble Beach." And he's like, "Here's my son. He's like 10 years old. Football. You signed for him." And he goes, "No, I don't do that." He just walked away right in the kid's face. The guy's like, "All right,
That's
thanks."
terrible.
Yeah.
You know who came here was Sean Payton. Were you here that night?
Did he come in?
wasn't,
He
but
went, and then
I
he
saw
went to the
that.
back bar when the
He
back
in
bar
the-
was popping.
Punky went crazy.
And Punky it was Punky back there. And he was going
Punky was the one man she had sex with Sean Payton.
It could have happened. Actually, it may have happened.
His
I
wife
know
was fine as fuck.
Punky.
You imagine that?
Yeah, but
If-
Punky will fucking tackle her and be like, "Look,
Yeah,
I
no,
need
no, no.
this."
If
This
it
is
came
what-
out that Sean Payton had sex with Punky, unreal.
let's spread that
Unreal.
rumor.
Adrian Wojnarowski reports.
He's like, Punky Johnson, SNL. Sean Payton.
I just remember the pictures. I don't think I was here that night, or if I
How
was.
He was
was that?
tight. He was tight as fuck, man. He just kept talking shit about everybody. He was like, I told those motherfuckers Alvin Kamara would be good. But he was the same guy, just
I
like
love
another
that.
football guy. Just
Yeah.
I always missed that. I missed Edelman. Was it Julian Edelman?
I
Was
hung
here
out
one
with
night?
him. I didn't
I
get
saw
to
the
hang out
picture
with
of you
him.
blowing him. Was
Wait a
nice.
minute. That's weird how you
Gronkowski
said
was in?
that.
that's supposed to
they
be
were
behind a
both
paywall,
there.
I think.
Oh, Gronkowski was in with
Patrick
Edelman.
Yeah.
Mahomes, Travis
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Mahomes was here?
I missed that
Those
night.
are Santino's
Hey
guys.
guys, I like comedy.
He sounds like a Muppet.
Kermit? Is that it? That's Santino's buddy, Mahomo?
Yeah. I
And
think they
Kelsey.
play golf, right? Oh
Yeah.
no, Kelsey. Yeah, they
Kelsey
play
and-
golf or something together.
Kelsey.
He's got a lot of golf buddies.
He looks like he
Santino.
wears.
got a lot of famous
looks like
friends.
he wears Zubaz. Kelsey.
What's Zubaz?
You don't know Zubaz? They're like weightlifting pants from the 90s.
No,
Bright
I never
colors.
heard of that.
You don't know Zubaz?
And I hang
Or
out with the
Zubaz, either way?
weightlifting pant wearer. I don't.
That is true. You hang out with the number one weightlifting
He's
pant
like,
wearer.
I still got Zubaz right now. I got Zubaz coming
I
in.
lift weights while I'm sitting on the couch. And while I fly.
Crazy wear? Crazy? It's like it's spelled with
Why doesn't he have his
Z's.
own line?
He did.
He had dice pants?
Yeah, in the 80s. Or
Really?
90s, early 90s, late.
There's an
80s.
area for your big fat balls. They didn't get the commercial.
It didn't go, I guess. I don't know, it was called Dice Muscle or something.
There was a night back in the day where Donovan McNabb came in. I think he was with Gary Payton.
I remember this well.
And then they were all working
The
for
girl-
like Fox Sports.
the girl
And there may
that-
have been one other pro athlete.
No, it was the girl that they do this. They
Oh,
did
okay.
the show with.
So it was like
a
the whole
white girl.
show. And they're like, ladies and gentlemen, David Taylor. Donovan McNabb, you are a terrible quarterback. You lost to the Patriots. You were out of shape. You were throwing up. Hey, man, like it like got back. Like,
I remember when
to the point
David
of like,
Taylor was
hey
running
man, like
around
I'm gonna punch you, and
Yeah.
like Gary Payton's like, I
He
wouldn't say
walked
that,
out.
man. I wouldn't.
He walked out. He did. Because I was on the patio. I didn't know it was them. I was on before David. And I was just making fun of all I could see was two big black guys with this little white girl. And I was just making fun of that and fucking with that. And it was fun. And then I got off and they were like, oh, it's Donovan McNabb. I was like, fuck.
Oh,
and
yeah,
David
that's
went up,
for you.
oh, and he just went right into it.
Just fucking.
Oh, no
lacing
one
him.
has made more people cry that I know than David Taylor. Remember where he would hang out in that
100%.
back hallway and just destroy a woman's life?
I remind you of your father.
Yeah.
Let's
You're
call
not that
him.
good looking.
I
I'm
had
like,
a friend.
why are you saying this to her?
I had a bunch of girlfriends here one night, and Lexi and all her friends.
Yeah.
And there was a girl that we didn't always hang out with, but she just happened to come that night, and David caught her. And
It fell into his
would
trap.
Lexi would be like, "Don't go near." She knew.
She's like,
they
"Run."
caught him.
It's coming down like the Babadook.
I guess we were getting
Stay
drinks.
there for a second, Ron.
We were going for like, I want to say 5 minutes.
You come back and she's like,
sobbing, fucking sobbing. I was like, David! And she goes, what? You know that he does this? I go, don't. It took me forever to get her to come back.
Yeah, no, it's pretty, because it was always
deep,
scarring
man.
things. It was like someone's like
oh,
self-conscious
Yeah,
game.
it's not like I'm gonna cut you. I'm not gonna paper cut you. I'm gonna stab you
Yeah, he
right in the fucking
ruined
heart.
her life.
And then
that
stand
night.
there, just watch it.
Yeah.
I remember I was working the door. I forget the actress's name. She was
Always
in.
funny.
She was from either like American Pie or Laws of Attraction, one of those like teen movies from
Right,
the
right.
late '90s. And David tells like, "Are you so and so?" And she's like, "Oh yeah," and like you tell she likes being recognized. It was hard to tell because you're a lot more attractive in print.
Oh,
And I was like, oh. I'm just sitting there at the door. I'm like legit in between them. They're like on each of my. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And I'm just just locked in, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
And he looks like Jack Skeleton too.
Yeah,
So it's like not like someone who's like really good. You're like,
Oh, no.
Are you
He's
mad that
Very
Christmas
handsome.
is coming up?
I like I like David.
Well, then,
I like David,
Handsome
too.
he's like,
man, I
where
mean.
have you been? You haven't worked in a long time. And she's like, well, I had a kid, and I kind of went into it. And he's like, are you
Oh.
convincing me or yourself? It just broke her down
my
to the point where I
God.
look. I'm like, where'd she go? She's on the stairs right there, just weeping, fucking.
Oh, that's exactly where my friend was, on the stairs weeping.
But then by the end of the night, he somehow won her back.
Of
It was like the
course.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Marines. He
Yeah.
broke her down.
He wanted to dig a hole for himself so deep and then came out.
By
That's
the
what he
end,
should do.
she was running the obstacle course.
For
He's
his
like, "That's a good job."
punishment, he should have to be like a sergeant in the Marines or something.
He would get
Come
killed.
down.
They would kill him. They would beat him with soap.
Yeah,
I'm
he can
in
only do it to
charge.
women. He can only.
Maybe you could be
He
a
wouldn't get
sergeant
away
of
with it.
women.
Maybe, although a man, he did do it. Well, I guess he was going after the woman, but he shit on the guy too. It was two couples in the OR. He's on, and he's just, one of the girls was really cute, and he liked her. So he was just shitting on the guy hard, and then telling the girl how she could do better. And
Always
it got-
not a dangerous situation
yeah,
at
it was
all.
frightening. But they were
A guy in front of a lady.
I
who's
know.
like,
Yeah.
That
hey,
he's like, I'm buying this ticket. I bought the tickets. I'm
they were
buying the drinks.
yuppie-ish, like he had his pants cuffed up. You know what I mean? Like they were those kind of, like they just got off a boat. Are your pants cuffed?
Yeah, right
oh
now.
boy, not that
I'm not
way.
yuppie, though.
Not way. That's poor. poor. You know
Yeah,
what
I'm
I mean?
poor,
Like
yeah.
rich.
I'm not rich
You
at
got
all.
poor cuffs.
Yeah,
Like,
I
they
got
got
there's dirt in there, oil.
Some hepatitis, and I see a needle.
I keep my
maybe.
snacks.
something Bert didn't take home.
I see a beer in your left one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a Galern move.
They were like yuppie guys, you know what I mean? And so they were pissed. And Fraser was hosting.
Man,
and I was waiting tables.
David is on fire.
I was waiting tables, so I come in and I see this guy is fucking seething. And David got off stage and the guy broke a bottle and he walked. He was ready to fucking shank him, and
Jesus.
I jumped in between them.
Was that-
and I was
that's how
like,
you-
"Sir,
that's how
I
you
have
met
your
Ronnie?
tab. Do you want your tab?" And because
He's like, can you hold this? He has to go in his wallet to get his card.
he was so nervous, and I just stood right in front of him, and Fraser was like,
Jesus.
"Man, you got right in front of
Oh,
him."
you're a good guy.
First I hosted for Michael Richards, and now this. I need to stop hosting. That was great when he came up on that video, like
What?
Michael Richards.
Yeah,
when Fraser
that-
comes
Oh
up,
yeah.
come on, guys, you're next.
Give it up
comic."
for-
You're like, this is not the guy to put the fire out.
Oh, after yeah. No.
What a gig! That's a great gig. That's a historical host.
I know, it's always fun to watch him at the end. You're like, oh, it's so like humanizing that you know this was real. Yeah, this is like a real thing that happened just down the street.
Yeah.
Which if that had happened here, that would not have gotten out. I don't think at that time.
100%. No, it wouldn't have been filmed. Plus, there's no balcony for him to yell what he yelled. Didn't he say something horrendous?
Oh, yeah,
up
yeah,
at the
yeah.
balcony.
No, he said it down on stage.
Yeah, no,
but he was yelling to
pointing
people.
at the
Oh,
people
yeah,
in the
it was-
balcony.
Had seats, those balcony seats, I always think too.
No, they're not. I mean, they're better than downstairs because you're right on top. Whatever. I don't know.
Why,
It's-
by the way, why is Bud Friedman's name up on the marquee here?
You know, Jeff.
Would Mitzi have done that, do you
No,
think?
absolutely
Yeah, I don't think
not.
so.
100% not. But we don't disrespect the dead.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm just asking a question.
Look, you know what? Nobody was angrier than me when he showed up at her funeral.
I know, I remember
and
that.
I was like, what is
Yeah, you were
happening right
pissed.
now?
I remember.
Like, cause
But you were like so mad, and he was just like
He was
in
in
an
a
electric chair
wheelchair.
and not moving. You're like, why is he here? And he's like getting
Wait,
spoon-fed mashed potatoes.
Can I
Excuse
ask
me?
why?
Can you? No, you're not on this
Yeah.
podcast. No, I'm kidding.
Don't
Yes,
talk
of
to Aaron
course.
Rodgers.
No, because he and Mitzi are were total fucking enemies, horrible enemies, and he.
Do you
he
think it was?
crossed
Do you
her
think he was
so
doing
hard.
a victory wheelchair lap?
I mean, he
Like I'm still
crossed
here,
her.
barely, but
This
I'm here.
bitch, she's gone. I'm still
Yeah.
here. No, I don't
Jamie
know. I
was
guess
there.
I
They
was-
were all hooting and hollering.
But Jamie, she loved. Jamie worked for her. When Jamie said, "I'm opening the club," she gave him chairs. She gave him everything. She said no. She had no
She's
problem.
like, just don't do it down the street on the same street.
And he's like, buddy, hey, I
Just
no
leave.
problem,
Like,
buddy.
He would still call her and talk to her. They were good friends.
They dated.
Bud
Made that up.
hardcore crossed her, hardcore, and fucked her over during the
Strike.
strike. And what he did made her look like the biggest twat in the world.
Pay people?
What's that?
Did you pay people?
Did she baby oil? What?
Did she baby oil people? Did she start baby oiling? Did she pay Did he pay people?
So what happened was they were meeting, and all this is like she has all this recorded. They were having meetings in the belly room, right? And so
Who's her? Her and Jamie, or her and Bud?
everybody.
This is like Batman when all the
Like, they would
villains get
just-
together.
Yeah, they would use
Penguin was
whatever.
there, Joker.
They would use
Riddler.
whatever location they could to have these meetings to try to get comics paid.
I call
and I get it.
together
The comics
meeting of
were
the
there.
comedy owners.
Yeah.
I was like, can we go in the main room? In the belly only.
I think the
Guy from the haha, they're like, sorry, you gotta get out of here. Not
Comedy Chateau tries to get in. You're like,
Like, no.
are you a real?
Park cars, bud.
here. They're like, we have a room, we have a laundromat. No, I don't know.
But she has it all audio. She recorded everything, right? And
Why though? Just to have?
just to listen, because she was really trying to make it work. I mean, her and Bud were animate about what you get $1 million deals. You go on and make millions and millions of dollars on TV.
Yeah, but only
they
5
were.
people do that, though.
Back then they were. No, back then a lot of them were. More than half were making tons of money, and then as soon as they got it, they would run off, and that's fine. I see both sides. Of course, as the comic, you want to get paid for your whatever. So
Luckily, we're
I
still
would-
getting paid the same.
What?
So luckily, we're still getting paid the same.
Actually, we're less.
They
We're
adju-
fucking less.
I know.
They adjusted
how bad it
negatively
is.
for inflation.
I know.
There's gonna be another strike. That's fucked
It's so
up.
crazy how little it is that you get paid in the city for comedy.
It's so bad.
New York, I heard,
I mean,
pays
the
decent.
only the main room's good.
It should just be what that main room rule is everywhere.
Or just
Yeah.
spread it a little bit.
Or like
It
even
shouldn't
if
be
you
such
do,
a disparity of like one room
Yeah.
you're like, all right, one room you're like
one room I make
zero.
rent, one room I don't.
Yeah, like and you're like, fuck. And then if you don't get it, you're
One
like,
room I can't. I gotta go to the lot
equal.
guy and be like, maybe next time, dog. I don't know what you want me to do.
look at this check. It's for
Yeah, look at this.
$8.
But like you know how they do like Tripoli does a show, okay, in the main room, but he pays well.
Yes.
Tammy Joe pays well. Like they pay well, so
You're like, oh, this
all
is
of a
weird.
sudden, other shows you do in a lot of different places, they don't. They'll give you like $50 or $20, and you're like, wait. This room is packed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so I know for me, I'm like, I get it. I'm not the big draw, but the big draw should get, obviously, I get that, but then it should trickle down. But Tripoli and who's the other one? There was somebody else that was paying properly.
Kathy
That
Lewis.
fucked up everybody else. All those other guys that weren't.
Yeah.
All those other
one
guys.
guy. Well, that one. There's one of them that.
Oh, there's a bunch, but
Well, there's one I hate more than the rest.
I got it.
No
I get
shortage of
it.
comedy promoters.
No.
/ comics.
Not at all.
In
But
LA.
so with back to the Bud and Mitzi thing, they had an agreement, and they were coming to an agreement with. Oh, good. We're all unplugged, Tony. Thanks. Great. So they were coming to an agreement of how much they were going to pay the comics, and I guess he got bullied.
It was this though, just because like no one wanted to be undercut, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
So they were trying to
it's
come
like,
up with
let's
a
all
fair
agree.
thing, and they were both on the same page. And I guess he got bullied or something. I don't know what happened. And he started paying comics.
I'm gonna do a conversion thing right now
What
for
does
how
that
much
mean?
money that would be worth in today's thing when you tell us how much they got paid.
I don't remember what it was.
Oh, you don't remember what it was?
I don't. I mean, it was. I mean,
Probably $20.
you
right?
could ask Argus. No, I think they were getting like a cut of the door. She was doing that. She started that. Like if the bigger
The main
acts,
room's perfect the way
the
that
bigger
is.
acts did the main room.
Yeah.
and they split it the same way it is now. And then I think the original room was maybe 35 or
It went down?
40.
Really? I
That's
thought
what
you
I'm
guys
saying. It
were-
really
you were
went down.
kidding.
No,
we're not
legit
kidding.
went down. I remember Jeff Scott
When
said
I
it
was
once.
waiting
like, what?
tables here, it got
Dude, it
so
went down
bad.
to 15 at one point. Then it went up to
It was when I was waiting tables here. It was $750 something.
Ooh.
$750. It went back up to 15.
But you guys didn't have shit going on back then, right?
It
You were
was
like
dying. The
three
club was
people,
dying.
Yeah.
$750 though.
I know it was bad, and sometimes those checks would bounce.
Back then, like the early
She was
Was that
really-
90s?
she
I
was
bet
really
you 750.
digging.
No, it's not 25 now.
She was really digging out of a hole, and
Yeah.
so I mean,
They'd pay you in hard candy a couple
She-
of some nights. Here you go, some butterscotch.
this is
I did
out
go
of my
to, I did get
purse.
to go into her office once. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
They still got the gumballs on the fucking table. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
I remember the first time I was like doing paperwork in her office, and I was like, I had my back turned to her, and I was sitting on the floor like filing stuff and putting it in the filing cabinet for her. And I'm sitting there, and she had the radio on, and it kept going on and off. I thought she was trying to change the channel or something, and she goes, "Knock it off."
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like,
It was Kinnison,
What?
the ghost.
I literally just, I was like, oh, I'm not doing, and she goes, no, it's Gus. I go, who the fuck is Gus?
Yeah, I heard this.
The ghost. I was like, okay. I'm
I thought that was Argus's
I'm gonna
nickname.
get out of this office.
He was below the desk.
That's when he does cocaine. He turns into Gus.
Well, because already her curtains look like fucking coffins. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Should I get out
And
of
that
this
room
office?
is like oddly large. You're like, what? How is this? How's the size
made
of this
the belly
room
room a
working?
little bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like as big as a belly room. I'm like, I don't see from outside where the side.
Amazing.
Of that all.
When she's like
Yeah.
a tiny woman, like it's not like she needed this
I never got to
huge
meet her.
fucking cavernous
But
office.
she would have all meetings in there. Like, everybody would be up that, like, when we had waitress meetings, she would pick like 3 waitresses. We would go in there, whatever. So it was always like a certain amount of door guys, certain amount of managers, blah, blah, blah. And we would all sit in her office on the floor, and she would
What's up there
tell
now?
us shit. It's her office.
Just-
they didn't
just
touch
changed.
anything.
sealed.
Oh, so it's like
sealed,
the college
yeah. They're gonna
bedroom of
keep
like a
it.
child who
Yeah.
died. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
It's
Okay.
exactly that.
That's healthy.
I didn't get let in one time, but I begged for a while, and it was pretty cool.
I will
I
say
think it's sunken in. I think you go down some steps. Too.
Yeah, you'd go down. You go up
Yeah,
and then
down, which
yeah,
is cool as fuck.
she one time they had what was that called? It wasn't the Comedy Awards. It was Whoopi Goldberg.
The AVNs.
AVNs. Mitzi loved to whip out her tits at the AVN. She would have taken them out.
She puts them on The View all the time.
What's that one? Comic Relief. Comic Relief. Remember that?
Billy Crystal, Whoopi, and
Robin.
Yeah.
So my first ex-fiance was a booking agent, and we went to Comic Relief. So it was at Universal, I think. And so we walked in, and Bud Freeman was walking up, and Mitzi was on. I was talking to Mitzi on the other side, and Billy was like, "I'm gonna reunite, make them make up."
Really?
And I swear to God, he brought Bud over, and Mitzi loved my ex, so she was like, "You're gonna get it for that." Like she was getting angry, and then Bud came over, and she went, "Bye," and she just walked away really fast.
I know nothing about.
He had no time for him.
I know nothing about Bud Freeman other than he owned the Improv. But
Yeah.
I saw a picture. He really did wear a monocle.
Absolutely.
His whole life.
Yeah, but I think
would
he
do it.
really got bullied and just folded. But he should have called her. You know what I mean? Like he should
Well,
have.
I don't know the whole story, but I guess, yeah.
She should
Or
have
leave.
punched the monocle.
Again, I'm only going from her side because it's like excuse me, I'm gonna cough really loud.
But Mitzi, it wasn't that hard to make Mitzi look mean.
It wasn't, and listen,
No,
she had
I haven't heard too many good stories, to be honest with you.
She had a lot of faults, but if you were like, she was very generous with me, so I guess I'm always Team Mitzi. And like, I had insurance as a waitress. I was like a different.
She turns your radio on and off now. Mitzi,
Stop it.
Mitzi, I don't want to listen to that. Oh.
Art LeBeau.
What if she's giving you notes as a
Nobody
ghost?
even brought that up that he died. I was like,
know.
oh my God, they brought the main room.
He had
from
the
it.
main room, yeah. He probably should have been up there, maybe.
Who's that?
Art LeBeau used to own the
LeBeau.
main room. Sold it to Mitzi, I think.
In 78, I think she bought it from him, but they didn't even mention him. I was like, why is he not up there? But
They're like, yeah, we got other stuff to promote. We got Sam Tripoli show on
They
Wednesday.
don't even promote anything anymore. It just
They
says,
took
it just says
Gallagher
comedy
down.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday. And I'm like, I don't know.
Sometimes
what
it doesn't
these
change for
dates-
like 6 weeks. I had to do that thing every fucking night.
oh my
And it meant
God,
a lot
yeah.
if you ever got your name. I never got my name up there, but like someone would get their name up there for the first time.
Oh, please.
That
I
was a
almost-
huge
Giant.
thing.
Even if they
Or
were
you
a
got
name.
a slider. That was
You
like
know-
slider's like the top way at the store.
100%.
If you're like made, you get a slider.
When I
And
worked
that's
here,
just gone now.
they
It just
had
says Monday,
they had-
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Slider
comedy.
means just it's all one piece for those listening. But
Yeah.
no one had. When I worked here, there was like no
no,
sliders.
he had to do individual
They'd be like,
letters.
rent is easy. I'm like, just get him a fucking slide. Like, why are we doing 8,000
Yeah.
letters? And back then,
And they'd be sticking off the sides.
well, then the sign, it was like because the club wasn't doing well, had gaps in it.
Oh,
like
always funny.
where like what held it.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
you would do it, it'd be like the Price is Right Plinko, and it would
Yeah.
just go down to the ground and just shatter into like 50 pieces. I'd be like,
remember those.
I'd go to the manager, like, Dean, bro, you gotta angle it right. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna kill somebody. There's people walking under there. Bro, you gotta be careful. I'm like, I guess.
yeah,
That
they're
doing that sign. It's still that sign
fighting
should be.
over the
It's so
sign.
cool. It needs
I
to come
agree.
back.
It should be back. We should still be open on Sundays. I don't know what's going on.
Now the sign, they have like they have a system where there's a guy at the bottom of it guarding the guy's life. Back when I did, you would be up
no
there.
one was holding it. They were pushing it.
There'd be guys
Yeah.
drunk.
People were
People,
throwing
drunk
things
people would be
in.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey, got you," and I'd be like, "Fuck you, dude. Go fuck yourself."
When you go on that top one, I don't want to. And I didn't make the fucking ladder high enough, so I'm stretching
that
to
top
put
one.
fucking Neil Brennan at the top.
When
And
then
I'm
the-
like, if I die because I put fucking Neil Brennan's name at the top.
When then you're like, is it at
love
an angle
you.
where it's not going to just come out? And I'm just
come
going
out,
to
Right, right,
fall on me.
go
Those
down.
things are sharp too.
Just
And-
get
or you get like the Bobby
decapitated
Lee
by it.
one that's old and it was whittled. There was
Oh,
it had
no.
holes in it and it was so old. It's like you're up there and it's cutting your hand. Yeah, I did that.
There was a dude they hired, an ex of yours, Mark Hatchell.
Oh,
Weighed
my
about
love.
450. And they'd be like, you got to do the sign for him. Like, don't hire a fucking guy to do a job if he can't do the job. Like,
Dude, when I was
started
a
a
door guy,
religion.
we had maybe the fattest door guys of all time.
you were on with Bert. You're like, I'm
Oh,
getting back to
yeah.
it.
Mitch Burrow,
Mitch.
Jessica Wally. Oh, I shouldn't play the people's names.
You're like, I'm going to get their
Jessica
weight.
lost a lot of weight, but there was a lot of big people to where they made a weight limit. So then all the skinnier people had to keep going up there.
Oh, yeah, that's what he's saying. Like he had to
Yeah,
do it
you're like,
for
this is
Hatchell.
fucked up. I was
Yeah.
eating on shifts to be like, I got to get up to that. This dude went
He went on tour with Bert.
He used to
Tried
give
get on the.
me rides home, and I swear to God, I
Which
got
one?
Mark
Hatchell?
Hatchell. We would get out at like
You get giddy over this guy.
I love Mark
Is he
Hamill.
real or is he like
he's
a
a real
special
guy.
ed guy? that's
We'd
fun?
get out.
Oh,
He wore. He got to the weight where he'd wear only an Oklahoma Sooners football jersey. That was his go-to fit every day.
Sounds like a Philly guy though. Like if
No,
you
he's
just
not,
switch
he's
it.
not.
No.
He had beautiful like straw-like hair.
It was like strawberry blonde, kind of thin. He had these rosy cheeks. He was the cutest thing. And he'd come in and wave his hair. And I was like,
So he would
Hi,
drive me
Mark.
He's
home.
450 pounds.
He was up
was
there.
big.
He was up there. So we would get in his car and he would open his glove box and he would have cold McDonald's cheeseburgers ready
This is
to
why
go
he's-
at 2:30 a.m. And I'm like, that's impressive dedication to being obese.
And he is passed away.
No,
no, he's still around. He
around.
started a religion.
He started a religion in Vegas.
And one time he called me up. He goes, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. Would you come to what was that one where we used to work out all the time? Not Sales.
Say Zales?
Marty's. Sal.
Oh yeah.
Sal. I'm sorry, my accent is harsh.
He said Zales. Like, what are you doing?
Sales.
Diamond?
I go
He's
to
working on
sales.
material. Like go selling.
Guys are selling jewels. You're doing some bits.
But so he goes, will you come and I'm doing this thing about a religion. So I go, okay. So I
You
love
come
Mark.
to Vegas to see my thing about religion?
No, Marty's. He's doing it at
okay,
A
cool.
comedy club.
Marty's right on
Okay, yeah.
Sunset.
It was
So-
a bringer meeting.
Yeah, pretty much. So I go,
Bring a couple of
okay.
your friends. You can go.
So I go there. I'll do anything for Hatchell. So I go, and he's got me. He's like, "Would you follow me?" And I was like, "I'll follow you."
I'll follow
I'm
you on-
thinking we're doing a bit.
You're like, I'll follow you on Twitter.
Well, I'm thinking, so I'm going.
What was he wearing?
all in.
Was he in the jersey or was he wearing
Sooner
like
jersey,
he wasn't wearing like a
absolutely.
leather jacket to
No.
put on like a cult leader like anything?
I love like a suit jacket with
Why
the Niner.
would a leather jacket be?
It's better
Like,
than a
that's
fucking
what I get
Oklahoma
in-
Sooners jersey.
That's what I get enticed by, you dick.
No, I'm just saying, like, look a little professional to if you're gonna try to
A
start a
leather
religion.
jacket
Professional?
for
I'm the poor one?
religion.
They don't make blazers in that size, do they? If you're listening,
So
Hatchell,
two together.
I love you,
We love Hatchell. So I'm.
but I
going-
won't follow you.
I did this whole thing. I was like, I would follow you anywhere. I think you're amazing. And I mean, I'm going hardcore.
He's like, take this
like,
knife
okay.
and cut
And
your
then he-
arm. You're like,
He'd
Here's some
ask me
Kool-Aid, drink
questions.
this.
I'm thinking he's gonna.
Is this in front of people? Or is this
No,
one-on-one?
it's just me and him.
Oh, so you wanted like a personal?
Well, you, him, and Marty.
No, Marty wasn't there.
Didn't he live there?
I
That
think
guy, Marty.
Marty did
I
live
think
there, yeah.
Munch was living there at the time.
Oh, Munch, all-time classic. Classic open micer.
So I did the whole thing, and then I'm thinking he's gonna like put it somewhere or use it to try to sell it.
Was he
Like,
filming it?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. You're yes-anding.
And
They're
then like 2
Eleanor
months
Kerrigan
later,
promotes
I
it.
hear he started a religion. I'm like, oh my God, that was what I was doing.
Imagine just getting that like the video. It's just him talking to her in a Marty's. And then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna follow this guy. This seems. There's a guy living in the back. It looks like a bald guy playing the piano. But this is a weird church. Okay.
What were the
can't
foundations of the religion?
He was
I
like,
can't remember,
number
but-
one, cold McDonald's.
Another
Love Compartment McDonald's. Was
a
a big
movie
deal.
did that was more disgusting than that. I forget. I think it was the beginning of the shift, and he's like, "Man, I'm hungry." He goes into the car again, gets a fucking Progresso soup, and he opens it up. I don't know. He just keeps
So
the can
that is
opener
end of days.
and just drinks it cold. But it was like stew. It wasn't liquid.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man!"
Like a chicken soup, I could feel like you could eat.
You can at least get the
cold.
liquid.
Yeah.
This
but
guy was
a
just-
stew, chunky.
no, that's
Donovan
gross.
McNabb's on the front.
Your mother's in those commercials. It's like, you say one more fucking word, I'll kill you. Should have thrown a soup can at David Taylor's head.
100%.
Head, but a big brain. There was the other night where, what the fuck's the actor's name who is in, I should know his name. He's in Good Times. He's in Coming to America.
Oh yeah,
What?
John Amos.
Yes.
I almost said John Amos.
So he was
and
in
then
the
I was like,
crowd
wait,
one night, and David Taylor goes up and
One of my
fucking
favorite customers. by the
lights
way.
him up in the crowd. Like he's like front left in the OR.
The best. Would come every night almost.
Do you know who Pete Carboni is? He's like an older school comic. He's like kind of come back here and there.
New York guy, right? Kind of very Italian? No.
No.
Okay, I don't know.
So he goes up
Ari,
next.
Dave, and him were similar
Yes.
in height.
Mitzi actually told Ari and Pete had curly hair, and Ari had hair at that point. You two are now the Curly brothers. You're a duo. And so they had to become a duo. They had to become brothers on stage. So anyway, Pete Carboni goes up after David Taylor. And John Amos just starts like instantly fucking heckling him. Pete Carboni has the slowest cadence.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be like, guys, I'm here tonight. It's super funny. And John Amos
Hilarious.
and John Amos,
okay,
and John Amos is like,
losing me
fuck
right
you, man. And he's like, what? And so he starts going in on John Amos. And after he's like the whole time I thought that was Joe Frazier, the boxer. It was John. I don't know what it was, and David Taylor was like, he may have thought you were me, like from another night or something, like thought he was Taylor.
Okay.
But he instantly started heckling him. And this guy's like a
that's
big name in fucking
funny.
in show. Like,
Oh yeah, but he would come here all the time.
and he was a big dude too. He was older, but he was
Is
a
this
fucking
Damone? Are we talking about Damone?
No, the father.
from all in the for not all the family.
Damone.
Good times.
Was that Damone from
Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Isn't that what
No.
you just said? Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
No, I said Coming to America
Coming to
and
America
Good Times.
and Good
Oh.
Times.
He was the father. He owned McDowell's and
Oh yeah.
John Amos, a big
kind
dude.
of fat guy.
Yeah.
bigger
No, he's
dude.
muscle.
Yeah, he's
He
like
was
big.
the guy who
He's
managed
not-
the McDowell's.
Yeah.
Like you said. Yeah.
No, he
Yeah, and
owned
he
it.
starts heckling.
Oh,
He was the father.
I remember,
with
like,
the woman.
girl,
that
yeah.
was
Like,
after.
is he gonna beat up
What?
Carboni?
Oh, that would have been so funny if he did that. And I could hear him like.
Are you going to punch me?
Mitzi would do weird stuff like that, where she saw something and she'd make you. Start
She would change
doing-
names. Like,
Change
Oh yeah,
names.
she told Jesus Trejo, or no, that was Tommy. Tommy told him to have a mariachi band on stage with him.
What did he tell him to do? Have a what? Mariachi
mariachi
band?
band.
Mariachi band. That doesn't get any more
what kind
racist
of budget
than
does he
that.
have to do stand-up?
yeah, it's also like
Guadalajara.
yeah.
What
Tommy
are
didn't have
you
the
doing?
cachet that Mitzi did.
He's
you
like,
know?
okay, hand out chips and salsa.
Have you
take
thought
people's-
about one word burritos?
Take people's orders. You're like, wait, what? Put a stove in front of you. Cut up meat.
Would he
He's
say
like, wait,
that?
what?
I never knew he said that to Jesus. Oh my God.
Put on a hair.
Yeah, he said
Jesus is
wear
the
a
nicest guy. He's
sombrero.
like,
Yeah,
wait, what? Oh.
And he's so nice. He would have been like,
Jesus.
oh, okay, Tommy. Okay,
At the
cool.
10-minute mark, put a pinata. Fuck, what a good advice. But in Tommy's warped
really
mind, he's like,
tried
Mitzi would have done the
He
same.
really tried
It's
to do things that she would do, but you're right. He didn't have her essence. He didn't have
Yeah,
what
the
she had.
cachet, yeah.
She was,
But she had some big
casting
misses as well.
100%.
I've seen some of
misses.
the names on this thing.
Oh.
They're
Giant
just like
misses.
weird.
If you were
names.
here in the early 2000s, you would have seen them performing. It was
One
even
time,
worse.
I was all excited that my name was getting on the wall, and they had to
As a
put-
waitress, right?
Yes, they had to put names on the wall in 10 years. So I got passed
Oh,
as
wow,
a
so
regular
great.
in 2010, and I was all excited, right? And I was like, my name's on the wall, like going to be on the wall. So I called my friend Lauren, who was a waitress with me, and I go, oh my God, my name's going to be on the wall. So excited. She goes, what are you so excited about? Bobby Shropshire's name's on the wall. I was like,
How
oh my God.
how dare she choose that name?
Are you right here?
No, I'm on that
Oh,
one.
you're on that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bobby
okay.
hosted
Real
the
big.
open mic when I was an open micer.
And not that Bobby wasn't,
She had a
whatever. It was
I don't know
beautiful,
who that guy is.
beautiful. That's a lady. She had a beautiful, well, debatable actually. Beautiful braid all the way down the back, but like shorter hair, like it's a beautiful look.
Like a rat tail?
yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
One of the reasons I can laugh at it or make fun is because
got one.
she was annoying in that she would like kiss Mitzi's ass and then kind of fuck with other comics, like be like, well, this person did this, Mitzi. And I was like, anytime you went to Mitzi and rat it like that or like tried to start shit about other it always came back on you. And then she eventually got rid of them.
Mitzi would fucking.
But it would be a couple of months where you're like, oh.
That kind of shit makes sense to me when there's a gatekeeper and it's the only thing you can do to get out of what you're doing is there's one person
Right.
that you can talk to.
Right.
Then all the crazy. Now there's no real gatekeeper, so it's like, other than Emily and I like giving us more spots, there's no reason for me to shit talk other people because it's not going to have like
crazy.
something happen. Whereas like
Right.
more now just making your own thing and then,
Or, yeah, just showing up.
yeah,
Working,
just showing
do
up, being
whatever.
as funny as you can. But to me,
and
what I'm
work
saying is I would
everywhere.
be screwing other people back if it was 2000.
You would?
I would
would've-
be bad mouthing people, sending
I would have
notes.
fucking hated you, and I would have had you. I would have waited and watched her turn on you. I wouldn't even have informed you, like, "Hey, don't do that," because
So I got a question. Who's the guy? Was there anyone that was really great that we kind of missed on, or like kind of fell off, or didn't make the transition?
I know your
Because I've seen a lot of them, and I'm like, this didn't need to make
your
the transition.
favorite Ricka is the name everyone. I was he was
Mike Ricka.
Yeah,
absolutely.
he was
hilarious.
before I got here, but he left, took off.
He left,
where?
but he moved back to New York. He still, I don't know if he still does stand up. I know he does podcasts and stuff, but Ricka was one of my absolute favorites, and he was one of Mitzi's babies. But that wasn't Mitzi not seeing him. That was the industry
Just-
missing
yeah,
him.
Yeah, no, I don't mean
Kind of a
Mitzi. I
thing.
mean like me as a guy who's a door guy, who's seen all the lineups, who's watched so much comedy here. I'm like, who's the guy from the past that should have been mentioned?
Should have been
Like,
mentioned.
should be like-
Should be.
I never
Should be
saw.
still doing
I never
it.
saw. I don't think all of my years working here, being here, is Carl LeBove. I never saw perform.
Oh, one of the
Everyone's like,
absolute
like one of my
best
favorite.
performers.
Jeff Scott was like my,
One of the
my
absolute
top
best
favorite
performers.
comics.
My favorite thing about the Carl LeBove era is when everyone was like, his group was the Outlaws of Comedy, and then it was like Sam Kinison, and then like Johnny Pineapples, and then like Carl LeBove with like a unibrow and like a bald head. I'm like,
mean,
these
every-
are the least outlaw people
Are you
I've ever
calling Jimmy
seen.
Schubert Johnny Pineapple? I don't-
There was a Johnny Pineapples in there.
Who's that?
I don't know. Every gang leader needs,
I don't think
needs.
so. I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was thinking Jimmy Schumer. I'm pretty sure there's a guy that wore Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, that's not his name though. That's Mitchell Walters.
Oh, okay.
Mitchell Walters was a very funny comic from Long Island, who or New York. I think he was from Long Island originally, but he's the one that would like go to clubs.
But the
in
idea of
New
an
York.
outlaw wearing
Oh, he was hilarious.
Pineapple
There's
shirts and then, like, a
when
balding
he
man with a
died,
unibrow was
This is
a
how
very funny thing.
big of a partier and a nut Mitchell Walters was. He made Kinnison look like a saint comparatively, the way he partied. When he died, he was cremated and everybody got a little vial like a cocaine
did rail
of his ashes. That's fucked up.
Did he have that? Like, was someone like, this is what he would have wanted, or was
And he
that
was-
specified?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure it was specified.
They're like, get the vials. This
Mitchell
is
was-
what he would have loved. You're like,
His
okay.
mother gets a vial. She wears it on his neck. A little spoon.
She's like, what's
This
this?
is my son. Yeah.
Why is there a mirror? Just take it.
This
Mrs.
is what
Walters,
he would want.
what Mitchell would have loved.
I would bet he said that's what he wanted.
That's why I think they have the.
He was fucking crazy, and he was hilarious. He could read the phone book, and you'd be on the floor.
That's why they
laughing.
have the
He was fucking
comedian
hilarious.
only like memorial because you can't
Johnny
mix those with the.
Pineapple.
They can't mix those with the family.
I think
But
I saw the
Andrew-
documentary, and all I remember was that he was wearing Hawaiian shirts, and I was like,
Yeah,
and
he's a
Johnny
big
Pineapple
dude.
just came in.
But Andrew had like nicknamed people that Dice always had that, like Hot Tub Johnny. He had
Noodles, Happy.
Club Soda Kenny,
Happy
Happy
Face.
Face. Like he always
Did you
had.
ever meet Kinnison? Was he as awful
no,
as every
he-
single person has ever said?
He died probably a year before I got hired, but I do remember like one night in the main room.
I'm just looking up who the other people are in this because I know there's a Johnny. No, there's
I want to hear about it.
Jimmy Pineapple, motherfucker.
Who's
Knew
Jimmy
that shit.
Pineapple?
I fucking knew that shit.
So is that Schubert?
It says Sam Kinison, Bill Hicks, Ron Schock, Steve Epstein, Carl LeBeau, John S. Riley Barber, Dan Merriman, John Fernetti, and Jimmy Pineapple.
That might be Schubert.
Was Schubert Jimmy
No.
Pineapple?
Any gang-
and that's the original Outlaws because it
Says
doesn't have
Texas Outlaws of Comedy.
Texas.
Any gang that
means
isn't-
that doesn't mean he was in Sam's. Got it. That doesn't
I
mean
think
he
that's
was
when
in
he
Sam
was in
because,
Texas still.
because what's his name didn't tour with him. The one you said, Bill Hicks.
Yeah, you're right.
They
Pineapple
were
got
just
cut.
They were friendly.
They're like, you're staying in Texas. We're all going to LA. Guys, I got the shirts. You're out.
Guys, I'm already in.
It's California Pineapple.
I got my suitcase. They're like, meet us. They gave him the fake. Meet us at noon.
I got a
They're all
Hawaiian
gone.
shirt. It works. But Mitchell was a big guy, and he did wear those big shirts like that. So.
I know his headshot. He wears like a members only jacket. He's like a
He looks
schlub.
like, what's his name?
Fultron.
Yes, Fultron.
Is he in the up here?
Yeah, like on the back
That's
hall.
The
all
OG
here.
one. Oh, no, that
Matt
one.
Fultron used to. The reason I know it is he would
Mitchell
look at him
He was leaner, and then he got bigger.
and he'd be like, "I don't want this to turn my life to turn into." Because he'd be like, "If there's a path for me to be this," and he's like, "I don't want it." I don't think he knew anything about him. It's just the look.
Yeah, so that must be what it is. They were
Yeah, it was the
the
Texas ones.
guys
Yeah,
that
when they
came
were the
out.
Texas
yeah,
guys when
because
they came out.
him and Carl did drive out from Texas.
Yeah, probably
But-
wasn't like the core guys, but I saw it and then
Yeah,
I was
because
just
like Alan
what is an outlaw
Steven
about
isn't
this?
in there. Alan
Yeah.
Bursky. It was a bunch of guys.
How do you get in? They had to jump you in. Was there like any?
I
You
was-
just bring an 8-ball.
You have the
and you're-
showcase.
Whoever could get the drugs
You wear
fastest.
an 8-ball, you're an outlaw now, brother.
You're like, wait, oh, this was the ashes of my buddy. This is my coke. This is my coke vial.
Do not snort my father, please.
That's Mitchell.
sad.
What the fuck are you doing?
But like they were
pulling pineapple
fucking crazy.
shirts
I
over your
remember my first I think I was here like a month maybe, or maybe 2 months, because he died in April, right? Kinnison?
I don't
Something
know.
like that. Okay, so
I don't remember either.
I don't remember exactly, but it was a year later, and Mitzi, Alan Steven, Carl LeBeau, and I want to say John Mulrooney maybe. They were just here late night. It was 3:30, 4 in the morning, and I had to stay and keep bringing them drinks, and I was like,
for the wake or whatever?
fuck are they doing? I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know they were the guys from back in the day.
I had no idea that Sam Kinnis. I didn't really even pay attention.
Was the
I
Dice
knew
Man-
of him, but I didn't. I was 20.
Didn't the
I
Dice
was like, I
Man?
don't give a
They
shit.
obviously had problems, right? Him and Kinnison.
Well, yeah, they were roommates. They were really good friends.
Like when he died, was
But
Dice Man willing to like put it aside?
No, when Sam got famous, I believe first. When Andrew started getting famous, it bothered him. Sam was on drugs, so he got crazy, and he would get like jealous, like fuck you, because he went to
hired
doing the
him out for
arenas.
cocaine all the time.
It was a big deal. Andrew was sober as they come. Like he have a drink maybe.
How dare you? Nicotine.
Oh yeah.
Drug.
Whoa. I love nicotine. If that's so, I'm a fucking junkie. But yeah, so he, you know what I mean? So he was sober and he was just doing business, you know, and it just bothers him. So they would bump heads, but they would live together in Crest Hill. They were like besties.
That one, I know.
They were like
I still never got to
besties.
see it. You ever get to see that
It was
place?
LeBeau
No.
and Dice
Never
that
got.
had a fight. It was LeBeau and Dice that had a fight, and then Sam picked up for Carl, and
And then
that's
banged his wife and made him raise his.
pretty much.
That's crazy. That's a
Sam was
crazy
a- like,
story.
Literally, if you
Motherfucker.
hear, I haven't heard no one say nothing nice about
Not
Sam.
one.
That's a crazy
No
story.
one ever
Nothing.
said
that
anything nice about that
His
guy.
best friend, he
Fucked his wife
I
and made him
heard-
raise his kid.
One of the most
Bro, I'll fucking
wild
kill you.
stories, and it's not really mine, but it's apparently he got real drunk at a club, and I'm not even going to say the club because this could be apparent. And the security guy took him home, and when he took him home, his wife answered the door, and like she was.
This is Kinnison you're talking about?
Yeah. Kinnison was fucked up. The security guard from the club took him home because he knew where he lived up in the hills.
Not a small guy to
She answers
take
the
home.
door. I don't know if you know what his ex-wife looked like.
as fuck.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. She answered the door in like lingerie, and Sam's out. The security guy's like, oh, she looks good. And apparently was about to rape her or whatever, and
Oh.
went in the house
Got to
to
call
like
security on the security.
yeah. Luckily, Sam had guns everywhere, and she was playing it like this is just again. This is someone very close to them told me this story, and so luckily Sam had guns everywhere, and she was like, "I have to use the bathroom," and there's nowhere to go. Like this guy's gigantic. And
He kept a Godfather gun
He
taped.
had
he had a
guns in the
Corleone.
bathroom.
He had
He
a Corleone gun taped to the back.
and she came out just shooting. That's how she got out of it.
Different era.
Frightening.
It's like, who
But
needs a rape whistle? Boom.
She, you know, that now, God forbid if she didn't have
in
that
California,
kind
you get
of
arrested for that.
what.
In California, you get arrested for that. You're about to be raped, you killed a guy, you got in trouble.
because she would get in trouble. She'd be like,
Yeah.
"What were you wearing?"
That's the one, man. The Sam Kinison one is always blows me away when you just, like, no one ever said anything nice. Felicia Michaels has horrible stories about that guy.
Yeah. I mean, anybody from that era, because some of them, like Andrew, when he talks about him when they lived in Crest Hill, it was all fun because they were coming up together. They'd come up with bits.
And you don't got
They'd
that
fuck
psychosis. You're not a
around.
coke addict.
Even if he
person.
was, but even if he was high, they got high. It was fine.
It'd be a great
they were young
TV
enough
show.
to handle it. Yeah,
A young
yeah.
Dice and Kinnison, like just the two of them up there.
Did you
That
guys
would
ever
be
see that? Have you
insane.
seen it? That
What?
place up there?
Oh yeah, Crest Hill. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Freddie Soto lived up there. My ex lived
Yeah,
up
he was
there.
bad as fuck, right? Everyone says Freddie Soto was tight.
Very funny. Very funny.
Holtzman loved that house.
Oh, we had our.
Did he say? Was it at
Holtzman
Mitzi's
lived there?
memorial? He's like, yeah, I got a house.
oh.
I grew up in Long Island. It's not that fucking nice, bitch.
No, he was
Screaming
talking
it.
about her house.
Yeah, oh, okay, different house.
Crest Hill was
Got it.
for the comics.
Got
Crest
it.
Hill was, she used to have like condos because like Letterman was going to move back to Indiana, and she was like, no, like she was like, so she bought or got apartments for them or something across Sunset. And then when things started picking up, she bought Crest Hill because she would just pay for comics to live and stay in apartments. Like
Yeah, it's
that was the other thing. It's like here they're fighting her for money. And she did a lot for them. Like she paid their rent.
Yeah, if you pay my rent, that's
you see what I'm
I'll let
saying.
you
Like
take-
it was a lot to kind of.
But you also though
you
are
go
like
this.
The problem though is
it sucks,
but you're indebted. Like you have to do everything she said. I mean, you're living where she tells you to live.
100%.
Like you're not. There's not a lot of power.
I agree.
that,
And they were young.
But
and,
if you take it, obviously you're in that dynamic.
yeah, and they were young, and that was what they wanted to be.
Would she
at the
stop
Comedy
by to make
Store.
sure you're like clean? Like is she like, oh, take the trash
Crest Hill.
out?
Crest Hill, she did not the apartments. I don't think she didn't care because they were rented. But
You need
Crest
to
Hill she owned.
vacuum.
So we had a big party with Freddie and Jason were living in there, and I think Wheels was living
So
upstairs.
they had it in the so they still did it in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about 90s.
Oh
there
yeah,
right now.
she didn't sell it until she was really struggling.
But I thought they stopped letting dudes live there.
No, they had to pay rent now.
Be crazy
I
if there's
think-
like still a comic there. It's like
I
an
think
old
they
guy.
had-
Josh Martin's up there right now.
Like some
they
like
had-
90-year-old guy. They're like, he's still there. They didn't throw him out.
I think they had to pay rent, but it wasn't like a lot.
Yeah.
It's probably like $100.
It was like when you could, because I believe Andrew, when he made it, he was like, okay,
Back paid.
calculate it, how long he lived there for free. And his business manager sent Mitzi, like cut her a check. You know what I mean? But I don't think, he was getting paid, but it wasn't really a lot, so whatever. But that's what I'm saying. So we did this party and she had this gorgeous oak table and somebody put the cooler on the table and it warped it. And she fucking flipped out. She was like, I had Kennison in here. Our guests lived here and none of this ever happened. Like we warped a table.
Yeah. Everyone's
They
just
threw
heads
people
down
out the
late at
fucking
night.
window. They
Berating
threw
you.
people out the windows. They were pulling hookers up through windows. Like they did everything crazy.
The
And
world before phones.
we warped
right?
the
Oh my
stupid
God.
oak
You didn't need the
table.
Chappelle bag. It was the world was the Chappelle bag. You're like, I'm going to write about this.
It
Like,
was
go ahead.
amazing.
You're going to see it. No one.
Yeah, it was definitely a different time. When I hear the stories of Crest Hill, I always get excited. But we did have a lot of parties there.
Were there any people who were living in these houses who were like not good comics, but just a Mitzi favorite?
I just said one. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah, you did, actually. I was like, who? Oh, okay, that one.
But
And was that like a thing of jealousy of like, wait, I need a place to live too. Like, why not me?
By that point, it was who could pay rent. And so, like, Jason was a door guy and a runner here and a comic. And he also was able to pay rent. So he had the whole bottom where Paulie used to live. The whole bottom floor was
As a kid,
amazing.
right? They just put Polly as a kid on the bottom floor. They're like, you guys are in, just go down every now and then.
Just feed him every once in a while.
Throw some
It
fucking
was-
formula down the stairs.
I think Paulie rented it for a while. The setup was phenomenal. The view was great. It was all little windows, and it just was like circular. It was beautiful.
Crazy to be like a
Pool
low-level
tables down
comic
there.
living
I
in
know.
the
Could you
Hollywood
imagine
Hills.
now the vibe now?
We had so much fun up there.
Fucking apartments as big as this with that wall right here when I was a door guy.
Right.
I remember
That was
there were
it.
like there were like 8 guys living in like
Oh
a
yeah,
like
yeah.
one-
Sandy Danto, didn't they have like?
They had a place. There was a bunch.
Yeah.
There was like a bunch of groups. You're like, which group are you in?
Yeah.
Want to
Group A or
trade?
Group B?
There
Yeah.
was the Scum Bunch group.
Oh yeah,
had
the
their own
Scum
place.
Bunch was a big group. We the
Before
Fun
my
Bunch. We had a lot of people.
Oh man, you missed.
I missed the Scum Bunch.
You missed
you-
orgies.
Johnny
Said-
Pineapples in the Scum Bunch.
Johnny, I gotta look up this fucking Jimmy Pineapple.
Jimmy Pineapple. It was
you keep
so bad.
changing it to Johnny. Maybe
it was
it should have
Jimmy.
been Johnny, and
Johnny's
everybody
his
would
brother
know.
who didn't quite get into comedy. Try.
Johnny's into construction in Texas. He's
What if that's their given last name? It's like-
Pineapple. I'm just thinking of it.
it's my real
We're
name.
just shitting all over
Yeah,
it.
it was-
Actually,
Be Fury.
Pineapple.
Yeah. Johnny 8 Ball. My dad's name was Johnny 8 Ball.
That's
Was
Mitchell
it?
Walters.
No, not yet.
What you started up San Diego? I mean,
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Sacramento and San Francisco.
What's
then I
the
moved
scene
here.
like in Sacramento? There's a couple clubs there, right?
Luckily, there's a lot of comedy clubs. So, like 4 or 5 when I was coming up in a town that's 1.5 million.
There are a ton of comics, or not obviously as many as here.
It's not a ton. Well, yeah, nothing compared to here. But when I came up, I think 5 of the last 7 ABC Stand Up for Diversities came from Sacramento.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Anthony de Guzman.
I don't think of Sacramento as a super diverse place.
That's one of the most diverse cities in the world, actually.
Is it?
For a fact.
I
yeah.
just think of like white Cowtown. Is what
That's on the outskirts. On the inside, it's like it's
Got
very. It's
Tommy
more like
T's. I love
Tommy T's. In LA, everything's split up by race.
Yeah.
In Sacramento, everything's split up by
Money.
money. So when I grew up, it's just economic. So when I grew up, race wasn't anything, but I hate rich people. I hate generationally rich people.
Right.
So like that's my racism. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like if
you
got
have money, fuck you.
you got a dad with a lot of money, then I don't like you. But
Yeah.
otherwise, race was never.
So you don't like Stuart Thompson? I'm just kidding. I feel like isn't he from up there?
Stu's all right. Yeah,
No,
Stu's
he's
all right.
a great guy.
Argus
I'm
was,
teasing.
a lot of people said
he comes
Argus.
off as a rich kid.
Yeah, he
I don't know if he
was a rich guy. That was
Argus.
his
Yeah,
reputation.
Argus was a rich
Well,
guy.
that thing is that fucking the room that she let people stay up there
Crystal.
leveled the playing field. Because you know what's hard in comedy? Paying your rent.
Oh,
Yeah.
And if you don't have to fucking pay rent, comedy is a lot easier. So when there's all these like rich kids
100%.
doing that, there's so many rich kids, especially in LA, doing
she was
comedy.
grooming them.
You know,
She was
people I know
grooming them to
who've
be
never had
superstars.
a day job.
Yeah.
You're like, where's your income?
Where'd you do? I was a fucking plumber's apprentice. I did halfway houses I worked at, group homes, everything just to get
Yeah.
to do. And it's just like when I see people have the easy card, I just
It's
respect them.
infuriating.
Peter,
I
if
get
you're
it.
listening, bring back the housing.
Yeah, let's
Me
go.
and
I'll
my
go back
family, I
there.
got two
Back
kids.
the house. But-
We
but-
need it.
I'll take the small room. I'll take the small room. Pete.
We'll take downstairs. We're probably
Come on, buddy.
But all those guys worked. None of them not worked. Except
up
maybe
there?
Argus. Maybe Argus didn't because they were all door guys. They had to be door guys. They had to help out like that way. And that's what
still
Sam and
good.
Carl started the tipping, the door guy tipping.
You mean scamming people out of money?
Pretty
we
much.
Yeah.
They would-
Which I'm a huge fan of.
They would see people and then like Sam would come back and hand Carl like, oh, here's $10. They would borrow the money
Yeah.
to start it.
Yeah.
The couple they were bringing in would see that money and be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And start.
It's tits and shoes. That's what you look
Tit-
at.
yeah.
If the girl's got big ass tits and they're out, and the guy's got nice shoes, they're gonna pay a lot for a booth.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
I mean,
I didn't like
you
seating.
don't charge.
But you didn't have nobody here.
But see, they
That's
didn't
true, too.
charge
Our
them.
shit, well, we had fucking 2 Rogans on a Tuesday.
We would
Right.
like. So I remember they made me seat the OR, and it would be like, all right, you have to sit here in the front. They'd be like, there's no one here. They'd be like, no. And then you'd be like, you'd be like, Tommy, like, you gotta stick to the line. I'm like, dude, they're not gonna sit there. What do you want me to do? Because there's no one there.
sure.
Like, I'm not sitting
For
there.
sure.
There's no. They'd be like a guy there, a guy there. Like, they're sitting in the room terribly. I'm like, Tommy,
I would just love the guy who managed to put 4 people right next to each other in the front row.
that's what they wanted you to do. And you're
Harris
like,
Pete
why?
could do it.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause he was abusive.
Other people wouldn't do it, but Harris Pete would be like, "That's where you sit," and he'd walk away, and they'd be like,
And he was like
Okay.
60 years, however old
Yeah.
he was, or he looked it. God, what an asshole.
But these guys would never. They,
like, fuck it.
I'd come in, I'd be like,
Yeah, but you
"Well, I
guys
gotta
stole
go
ticket
all the
money.
way over there and
I
all
did
the way
not.
over here."
Oh, you're the only guy that didn't.
I didn't work the
like
booth.
everyone
No.
always says different shit, and I'm like, yeah, well, we made money when people made money here.
Yeah,
Like
but
real
see
fucking
what
money
Kinnison
here.
and Carl did because it was busy. It was
Yeah,
a boom for
they
them
were-
as well.
yeah, one of my people were.
and so they didn't charge anybody.
Oh, they
they
stole
just
money.
manipulate it, saying, "Look, this person tipped me. You should tip too."
Oh, what we used to do. This was top peak, and this was the A squad, right? Me, one guy still works here.
You don't wanna
Fang
say
Chow,
names. Got it.
Steve Randolph.
Right.
Bad motherfuckers, right? So we go. This is in the peak Joe Rogan area. 2 shows a night. So we go on the. We send Chow out, and he goes, "Who wants to sit in the front row and skip the line?"
and they're like, what did he
Who
say?
wanna sit in
And
the
then he goes,
front
one more
line?
time.
What did that Asian
They go
man
one
say?
more time. Why is he so angry?
Like, can you
Then
use
they give
subtitles?
$20. And they would, that's how we would do that shit.
Man. And that's like a G, like
Wow.
if so, like and you're with a woman you want to impress, you're
He
like,
has titties, you
yeah,
got
you're
nice
like,
shoes.
I'm in.
Let's get the fuck out of here for
Yeah.
$20. And the waitresses aren't mad because you're sitting front to back immediately.
Yeah.
And except a few of them old bitches.
So it did. Hey, I'm
They're
on
not here.
I'm
They're
on
leaving
team
now.
waitress side. So
Oh, you guys.
because
you guys
didn't
make enough money.
Fuck you. You didn't.
They
kick
make
back.
$400 a
It
show.
didn't matter. You should have kicked
then I
back.
get-
It's always how it works.
Should have kicked back. To who?
This is an old school comedy store position battle.
I'm kidding. To be honest, if that was
Mitzi.
happening when we were I would have never. I would have.
Yes, because you make $400 fucking a shift, and we're making $20 for a person to split against
100%.
6 guys.
Yeah.
It was insane. It still bothers me to this day, but most of them
I
are
can
good.
see that. But wait, like that's the other day I went to the Rams game, right? And I paid to park at the Hollywood Casino or whatever it was. And so I paid to park, and then we get in and we're pulling in, and I already paid like a decent penny to park. And as soon as we get there, the Mexican guy comes up, he goes, "You want to park right here for $25?
Yeah.
You could skip the line." And I was like, hell yeah. And we all did.
$25.
You're like, Feng Chao, is that you in Mexican face?
She got a sombrero.
But we all just started laughing like $25. Fuck it.
Yeah, especially now. What's $20?
When I worked here, I was not like, it was dead. I never didn't work the booth.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have stolen, I don't think, if I did, but
No.
I had
I'm not
another
taking-
job.
He's too
I'm not.
nice.
I'm not a ticket stealing guy, but selling a booth or upgrading you to front row so you get a cut. I don't see anyone falling there other than, maybe if a guy was a real piece of shit, he's not going to tip the waitress as much. But if he's going to go in the front row, I think he's going to do it anyway.
When I worked
But
here,
that's the waitress complaint is that if you're taking $100 from that, you just take. Yeah, but you guys were making $1,000 a month, a week.
How many shifts do I have to work?
Maybe 2. I don't know. If it was a Rogan
If you
night,
did two doubles,
See?
Rogan, I can make that.
see?
But I'm also splitting it with 7 other guys.
Oh,
when I worked here, I'd work till 2. I'd get home at like 2:30. I worked at a gym at the front desk. A lot of shifts 5:30, so I would sleep 2:30 to like 4:45. And I just got to the
You
point.
worked a day shift too?
So I'd write like back to back. I'd
that's
be like,
fucking crazy.
yeah, I was like, I think it took a few years off my life.
I had to have another job when the club was like declining, but for the most part, like I would always get a little acting gig here or there, that would pay. I was a wrestler.
Yeah, that's cool.
You should bring it back.
Yeah,
Get back
I
in
would
the
come
ring.
here with like black eyes and a Thomas collar.
That was just from
I'm
Dice.
waiting
Yeah,
tables.
they're
and
like, geez,
people
look
would
at Dice.
feel bad.
That's why
They were
Dice wears the gloves to cover those bloody
Hickory
knuckles.
dickory doc. Get over
Hickory
here.
dickory dock.
Gloves don't leave prints on your face.
Those mesh ones do, Andrew.
Don't never hit it with the tips. Always fist it up.
All right. Well, you have anything to promote?
Yeah, check out my new podcast coming to the Comedy Store Network. It's called This Week in Crime. I do it with my buddy Saul Trujillo.
Oh.
We do we say some pretty
By the
horrible
way, he's
shit.
one of my favorites.
He's one of the funniest dudes
He's
in
fucking
LA right now.
hilarious.
He's so hard. Like if he
all
can be hard to
honesty,
follow. He fucking murders.
If he opens the show,
Yeah, it's good.
makes a big difference.
Exactly.
Makes
He's
a
a
big
game changer.
fucking
Got good
difference.
hair, good voice. He's got a
Good
lot.
hair, good voice.
Lot
Blood
going.
pressure, not so much.
Not great.
Looks like a young
Theo
Joey Diaz
Vaughn.
in some
Yeah,
lights.
exactly.
It's like Theo Vaughn and Freddie Soto
Yeah,
had a kid.
there you
A
go.
little
That is true.
circle jerk.
Never thought
I
of
like
that.
it. Yeah.
It was
then we-
so go ahead.
And then we do we do horrific crimes that happen. We make fun of them. It's pretty intense, but it's pretty funny. I think all the episodes have been bangers so far. But we look up weird crimes and kind of things that happen, and we just write as many jokes as we can about
Oh,
those.
okay.
Yeah,
So that's
it's a little
good.
dark.
It's like a crime roast almost.
Like a crime roast, like something horrific happens, and then we write terrible shit about it, and it's pretty funny.
Are these like crimes that like the people?
They're pretty up to date.
Okay,
There's a
so
lot
it's
of weird
not like
shit
old
happening all
school.
the time.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes we'll throw an old one. I'm really into cartel stuff, so we'll show some cartel.
My favorite.
We just showed this one clip on our last video of this guy comes to a cartel dressed as a clown and kills Rafael Quinto.
Jeez.
And the shot in the head.
You're from the area of the Golden State Killer,
Oh, yeah.
prolific serial killer.
All of them.
Yeah.
Sacramento Vampire, Dorothy Puentes. There's a lot of porn stars, comedians, and serial killers from Sacramento.
That's state capital,
He points out.
hometown.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Freddie Soto used to do a bit about because he lived right on the border of El Paso. I mean, he was in El Paso, so he was on the border of Juarez, and there was cut off heads in the hills right by his house, and you just see these Mexicans pick it up like cerveza.
Yeah, it's like
just-
it's so normalized. Oh, there's this. So I used to do an old podcast on here called World of Drugs, where I did, and it was so much work. I would do like a 12-page research paper on a cartel person you've never heard of. And so there's this
amazing.
new group right now in Mexico called Cartel Jalisco New Generation.
Okay.
And they have like camps where they raise people up, and they'll have these kids fight each other to death, and one kid has to eat his heart. And it's not a bit.
Stop
There's
it.
videos of this, and there's also videos of their hitmen. They took over a town, had the Mexican government come in, bring in helicopters, and they shot them down with fucking rocket launchers.
How do you keep up with the cartels on E? How
I
do
was
you
a drug dealer for a very
All
long
C's.
time. So it's kind of stuff that I just enjoy. I used to run
Okay.
drugs over the border for most of my life. From about 13 to 26, I would go over there, get pills, and bring them back over here. So it's always just been something I've been super into.
some of the guys you
his
came
old
up
profession.
with? He's like, I keep in
Looked up
touch.
to a little bit, but then it got too scary, man. And then I jumped off that shit. The new one's very good. New crimes every week. It's pretty fun. I think
There's,
it's pretty
you
good.
know, the world is going to shit. So there's
It's
a
a
lot of
horrific
crime
place,
to
so
make
we
fun
can
of.
either make fun of it
Or hide in bunkers.
or just die. I don't know. The world sucks.
Jesus.
Let's just die.
He's like, but I have a training appointment with Bert tomorrow at 6 a.m. I gotta get.
I
I'll
can't do
train
it. They
with
gas
Bert.
me
I
out.
love it.
You
I
could
love
do it.
Well, because, you know, on the road with Dice, that's all he does. Work out. Like, everything's workout. It's the whole day is based around, all right, we got to do the workout. And he, like, trains like a crazy person. So,
I don't want to do that. I
What's
don't-
well, you're not there yet.
who's Bert's trainer?
You'll get
Is he
there.
like a known trainer
this
guy?
woman named Lacey. She was with Tom Cruise.
Really?
Oh, nice.
7 years.
She's like, man, I've fallen off. My new client.
Hey, he's doing stadiums, dog. He's
I'm saying
he's not Tom Cruise.
as a fitness client.
Yeah.
I'm saying not
Tom
as a
Cruise is
talent.
very fit.
But if you're trying to challenge yourself,
That's true. That is
True.
Out
true.
there.
If you want a
And-
before and after, he's
Yeah.
a good before picture.
he's getting jacked too. He's like catching up to my weight now,
That's so.
and it's like
If he gets like
freaking me
Chappelle
out.
jacked, I'm gonna be like, "What are you doing?
Oh, the Chappelle
You're
ones.
fucking rich. Like, where does
He's going to
when's
look
enough
weird
enough?
in that hat. He's not going to look like Smokey the Bear anymore.
His head's gonna grow. I'm like, you're on that HGH. He's a 10. He's a size 10 fitted
Do you
hat.
think he'll get rid of the belly?
I think he's
A moment of silence for the belly.
He's gonna
He's getting
ponder. it.
close, man. Because then I talked to my buddy Dave Williamson, a very hilarious comedian, great
Oh, yeah.
barbecuer. He's still with him right now, and I'm like, "You guys back to drinking?" He's like, "No." He said he had 2 beers this week.
Wow.
So I think he just might be getting. He got to look back. He got to look across Tom. You know,
Yeah, it's
Tom's
like-
jacked now.
yeah.
Tom looks great.
Tom lost 65 pounds in a month. I don't know how he did it, but impressive. And
in a month? That's
no,
dangerous.
not 60, but he probably lost a lot of weight. He's jacked now. Is what I'm more.
Got it. Yeah. It is dangerous to lose a lot of weight.
No, I didn't mean that, bro. I just mean he's jacked
Yeah.
now, and I think Bert looks across and goes.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom's like probably your
Christina's
height.
working out now. Like Christina's doing with Stacey
Yeah, they're
Powell.
all-
Like,
yeah,
I-
Stacey Powell.
She just won Miss Olympia. I mean, they're all they're all like fitness. They're all like, well, good comedy.
We gotta
I'm doing
get our
fitness,
workout
fitness
game up.
DVDs.
It's the workout, but you get older, you got to do that shit.
And like it helps to have their careers and money to
True.
to
Money
work out.
for-
To
to
like,
have
You
a
mean to
trainer.
get Tom Cruise's personal assistant to train you?
yeah, it helps.
that's pretty
It
fucking
helps.
cool.
A dietitian probably.
Right,
Someone
yeah,
cooking your food.
That's all of it. All yeah.
Tom Cruise he sprints in every single movie. He
Yes,
just
but he looks good
randomly
running.
Just fucking
He's got
sprints.
small legs though, so
Yes.
he's got to really work.
So he looks like Dash
Close-up
from The
shot.
Incredibles when he runs. He just goes fast. He's so little. I don't know why I thought of that, but
I do not have Tom Cruise's ex-trainer.
I don't.
No,
I have
none
my
of
own-
his staff actually.
I use YouTube.
I asked her for what I got was I asked her for a sheet of paper of what to me to do.
There
for
you
me
go.
to do. So I was like,
You
so
just
I'm like,
follow it.
I'm kind of yeah.
So she just gave you like what, workout or food or both?
Workout, and then I did the Stacia one.
Yeah, I did that for a while during the
I lost a shit ton of
pandemic.
weight.
Yeah.
What is
works.
it?
Work 10,000. You walk 10,000 steps a day, and then you eat kind of restrictive diet. But I'm definitely never hungry. But it's like the least flavorful food you've ever had in your life. 'Cause it's like rice, turkey, and some.
Sucks. Like you get older, it's just like if you
You
want
just gotta
to.
use seasonings. You
But
can
it's
use
just da-
spices. Spices don't add
Yeah, you can
calories.
Mrs. Dash. Yeah, but herbs only go so far where salt needs to come in, and salt's not really working too. It's not really allowed.
Yeah, I don't mean salt. I mean like different. Yeah.
I read a book about Mr. Rogers, his life. He fucking
hero?
one of the craziest factoids about him is he never gained any weight. Like he
He-
maintained the same weight his
exact
whole life,
same-
which as an adult is crazy.
And
Okay.
it's-
Stacey's diet worked for me very well. I didn't mean to say that way. I lost
I
a
know,
shit ton of
but
weight,
you're just
and then I went
saying
back on tour and then ate like cheeseburger. What happened? Yeah,
Eat
the
late at
road,
night.
the road is brutal.
yeah. The road is just
Like-
brutal. I can't make this meal on like
Plan,
a coffee.
Well, then
roaster.
then you're
You're not
drinking.
traveling
Yeah,
with
I'm
a
drinking,
hot
like, yeah,
plate.
with a
high,
hot plate. Yeah.
high salt, so you're
Like,
retaining
you're
water.
in
Can't do it.
prison and you're just the whole hot fucking
So I'm literally
place
going
smells.
back into it now. I just pre-planned my whole week, and I'm going to go back into our stuff because it works very well. But
It sucks. So yeah,
I think you look great. I'm proud of you. He's out of beer, so
that means we're
we
done.
should get going. Do you have anything to promote?
Check out
Jeffrey?
Beach Cops.
Beach Cops.
It's on iTunes. We do an hour for free on there, but then the rest you can get bonus stuff on Patreon.
you know,
Very
Neil?
funny. Beach Cops.
O'Neill and
Yep.
our buddy, this guy Andrew DeWitt, the third.
It's so funny.
And if you want to Venmo me money, I'm not on Venmo, but my kids do need money. So
Send in an
Venmo
envelope.
some
just
money,
mail it
guys.
to figure out my address and mail it to my house. And Peter, please give me a house. I need it.
Please, Peter, give them a house.
Just one of the gold condos I heard about too. I didn't know they had those
seriously.
too.
What? Well, the apartment. They weren't like.
I'll take a
nice.
townhouse,
They were
Peter.
like
I'll
little
take a
shitty.
studio. My life is terrible. A bachelor.
Imagine your life with 2 kids. I'm
Yeah,
not much-
right.
I am lucky there. Where are my boys at? Let's go right here.
All right, thank you guys. I'll be at the Sugarloaf Theater November 25th
Where's that?
and 26th in Sugarloaf, New York.
Is that a
Whoever
ski
heard of
resort?
it? No.
Doesn't New
Are you
York?
sure?
Isn't that
I don't
weird?
wanna say anything, but-
Say it.
New York gets a little wonky once you get out that city.
Oh, yeah. Because then it gets up to Poughkeepsie
Yeah,
and then it
you're
gets
just
up to
Yeah, I went to Buffalo recently, and
Buffalo.
I don't know if
Are you
people
there?
live there.
I've been to Buffalo.
Hey there.
Yeah, it's an
we know
interesting
people
place.
that
No, but
live
then
in
there's like
Buffalo.
hardcore. There's like a new big rap like group from there.
Oh, yeah,
but they're like Griselda, but they're
Griselda,
fucking
yeah.
hardcore. They were like
They just beat up
big
Freddie
drug
Gibbs.
dealers.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of the dudes was shot in the neck.
But people
and he
don't walk
fucking-
around. I don't know if they got tunnels or something. I don't see people walking
I think they're
around.
just used to like in the winter. They're just like we're done.
Right.
How do you deal drugs in the winter in Buffalo?
I don't know.
Snowmobile, just
I
going
don't
through the
know.
streets.
That'd be
Amazing.
sad.
I'll be at the Paramount in Long Island. Have you done that one?
No, you're very big
December
on the
4th.
East Coast, though.
Very exciting. Well, I love it. And it's
And you're
with
from
Dice.
there. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
East Coast. I'm from California, so I don't really leave the West Coast very often.
The East Coast is where it's at. No, I'm just kidding. They just have a lot more.
Do you have a line in the
Dense
country where you're
comedy
like,
clubs.
you don't cross over?
I would do it all, but
We have a ton on this side, but they're.
when I came up, though, I came up in a smaller scene. So when a smaller scene comes up, you go to a comedy club, you hang out there till you get past. Then you go to another one, you hang out there till you get past. So that's what I did in Northern California to the Punchlines, Laughs Unlimited, Tommy T's. Then you go to the Tempe Improvs and those ones. So I did that.
Right.
So I kind of got, or like,
So you have your like West Coast.
I'm just like
Right.
more West Coast based.
I get it.
But the East Coast, they got a lot more shit going on in a small
well,
area.
you could just go. It's like easy to get to. It's like, okay, 2 hours here. You go up, you're in Poughkeepsie
Yeah.
or Sugarloaf. And then you go the other way, you're in Connecticut. So you're in another state and you can just do a
do the-
comedy club.
the
It's great.
Borscht Belt.
Yeah. The Borscht Belt, of course.
Go do some
God, that was so Jewish. I love
some
it.
Jewish cabins.
The Borscht Belt.
Yeah, Ari Shafir's new specials there.
Yes.
Borscht Belt.
very
That's his next one
Is
coming
his
out. The
special
best one.
called just Jew
Called
or
Jew.
The Jew?
What a hot
I
time
just
for
wanna
him to come
know
out with that
what word-
fucking special.
Perfect
Jesus.
for him because people are like, let's Google it. Let's see.
You're like,
It
we're
really
Jew.
is
It's like,
good.
"Oh, it's me. I'm all right.
Have you watched it? Have you watched it?
I didn't, but I came and saw him work it out here, so I
All right,
know
so
it.
you know what it is. It's
If you want to
I
check the
saw the
special,
it's
original one.
educational.
I saw the original one.
Yeah.
Like when he did it before the pandemic. I
Yeah.
think he had a run of like 4 shows here.
that's where
Yes.
that's the one I
yeah,
saw.
that's
Yes.
the one I
Yeah.
saw. But good
Yeah,
God,
this
that
is
was
years
5
later
years
because he
ago.
was supposed to do it, and then
Yeah.
a famous basketball player passed away, and it kind of changed plans.
Oh yeah. Oh my, bro! I was working fucking phones.
Were people calling?
Bro, they were calling saying, "I'm gonna kill you all," and I'm gonna tell.
You know how fucking
They were
funny
Mexican
that-
dudes. Mexican dudes
Guys.
were
Oh,
calling.
yeah, they
Ari
were
will be here tomorrow
angry.
recording in this
Before-
podcast
angry,
studio.
dog.
Before we get out of here, when Ari did the Amazing Racist, if you haven't seen, it's online.
Old
I remember.
school.
I
So
saw it before I came here.
people would get on MySpace. I'm gonna kill you, like these Mexicans. I'm gonna fucking kill you. But I'm gonna be in Indiana. I'm gonna be in your home state. Here are my dates. So if I don't see you, I guess I will. Then like this fucking guy is such a psycho. Like the Monday after the gig, I didn't see you. I'm still alive. So I mean, this fucking guy. Fucking with guys who are like, I'm gonna kill you, calling them
crazy.
out. Nut job.
I remember when it happened. I think Tony was trying to jump on, like, back Ari a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning. And so I was like, Tony, hey, there's 5
yeah,
guys
he put
coming to come here to fuck you up tonight. And he was like, why did you allow them to come here? You didn't get them banned? And I was like, oh, I never really thought about that. But good luck,
I
dog.
sold-
They're
I
coming
sold
for the
them
OR.
tickets.
They're coming to the OR for you.
Have fun seating them. Try to upsell them.
No, they got a booth, so they're coming tonight.
Is this for
Yeah.
Ari? You're like, "Ah."
I remember performing at that time, and it would be like, you know, you just see people in Lakers jerseys just lurking around, looking in the kitchen, and I'm like, hey man, you can't be
Yeah.
in here,
Yeah.
you know, because I was like, really, you're taking a
I hope
fucking-
Rick Glassman wasn't around because his resemblance to Ari at times he could have got stabbed.
There he is.
You're like,
Ah.
He throws his puppet in the air. That was me.
Sick people. I love it. All right. So that's it. No
That's
plug.
it.
That's it. All
It's
right.
over.
Well, thank you. December 4th, the Paramount. I don't know if I said December 4th. Long Island. Tony, is that good enough?
very, very good enough.
Tony, no one cares.
What if
you
he said
think.
no?
He's like, we're gonna run it back.
He's like,
You guys got another
run it
hour.
back.
try some of the
You
same stuff,
kinda
but
suck.
riff a little different.
All right. Thank you guys so much.